Market to Market is everywhere you are. Subscribe to Market on YouTube, find us on the PBS video app to stream on demand, and add our 3 podcasts on your favorite podcasting app.
Thank you all.
The Senate Ag Committee held a hearing this week on a proposed bill that would require meat packers to buy half of their cattle on the cash market and create a library of contracts for all of the nation's cattle sales. Witnesses were divided on the impact of the proposed bill on everyone from the open range to the packing house door.
And I dare say that if we don't pass this bill where we have some transparency in this and we don't make an effort to reestablish the price, the cash price, I'm not going to have any. When that happens, I'll go the way of most of the producers in this business.
It's not a conclusion that there's anti-competitive conduct, and in fact, it's rather competitive within this industry. Likewise, there's not any research that shows that mandating cash trade is going to make for better cattle prices. That's just not part of the research that I understand.
This bill would end my business model as it exists today. And it would cause many of my customers to quit retaining ownership of their cattle, getting that carcass data back, just because it would be so detrimental to the way we market cattle. It would radically change everything that we do. I will acknowledge that price transparency, price discovery is critical, but in reality, this bill does not achieve the goals. And actually, I appreciate the spirit of the authors of this bill, but I don't feel that this achieves the goals of what this body's trying to achieve.
Right now, moving forward, the market is pretty confident that supplies will tighten up, prices will improve dramatically, packer margins will decline, and the price discovery in this situation right now is not tremendously uncertain.
This is the 11th time the Senate Agriculture Committee has considered the bill, which was introduced by Iowa Senator Charles Grassley. None of the previous 10 versions have advanced to the Senate floor. For Market to Market, I'm Peter Tubbs.
Over in the lower chamber, the House Agriculture Committee dove into thorny issues tied to the nation's cattle industry.
Today, consumers are literally paying more for their beef, producers are receiving less for their cattle, and yet your 4 companies' net incomes have reached record highs.
Across 2 sessions, representatives quizzed producers, industry advocates, and big business about the impact of consolidation, price discrepancies, market disparities, and black swan events like COVID.
Rural America is one huge slum, and this is a result of the lack of antitrust enforcement.
Discussion zeroed in on smaller producers affected by the tandem choices of contracts known as alternative marketing agreements, or AMAs, and the potential of more lucrative price discovery at auction.
They're basically trying to cram our industry back into the bottle, the way it was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. That's not healthy for an industry. Change is a part of the industry, and especially if you look at the impact it's had on meeting consumer preferences, nothing could be more advantageous for the industry to listen to your consumer.
Mixed reactions have been drawn by bipartisan farm state lawmaker legislation introduced in recent months, attempting to resolve frayed ends across the cattle business. The specter of inflation also quickly wormed into the conversation.
Ranchers and being able to continue to operate. I mean, that's just the plus or minus question from these days is like, are they even going to be around much longer with costs of everything, costs of energy being up and down?
How can this jettison up? And it started well before the COVID-19, of which you say caused a record amount of profit. So I want to get the yes or no and whether or not you all had agreement on pricing.
No.
Not that I am aware of.
Experts, policymakers, government regulators agree. The combination of supply, consumer demand, pandemic disruptions, and geopolitical unrest is reason enough for the inflation.
For Market to Market, I'm Josh Bittner.